Okay, now this is a peculiar one. This game was actually lost for about 30 years. I guess 3 or 4 years ago, I was going through some old Vic20 images I'd got from somewhere, and I came across this game that was credited to Vicsoft. And as I started to load, when I first loaded it, if you look at this here, the character set looks familiar, and in fact that is the ancestor of the Attack of the Mutant Camels character set on the Commodore 64, which everybody so loved to steal. But this actually predates it, so this is an earlier version of it. Anyway, I thought that was a bit peculiar that it had that character set in it, because not many people stole that for the Vic. It was normally stolen for the Commodore 64. And also it illustrates plainly why you really need to break up Vic text with alternate lines of blank, because that's just so fucking hard to read. I mean, quite apart from the fact that for some reason whenever you made a new game on the Vic20 or the Commodore 64 you felt yourself honour bound to invent and use a especially hard to read character set. But anyway, I digress. So it's painful to read it, but there is this game called Space Zap, which was an arcade game which I'd never actually played or even seen. I'd read about it in a book, and this game was made, I suspect, for the same package of little games that I did for DK-Tronics, and I don't recall ever licensing it to Vicsoft, but then I wouldn't put it past the guy at DK-Tronics to have licensed it to them and cashed in. Either that or maybe Vicsoft just stole it. I see one of Vicsoft's other games is called Deflector and appears to be a straight copy of Deflex. But anyway, let's move on. I was quite surprised to see when I started reading through this, press return to go on, that it actually mentions, here you go, there's a space satellite, you use N and M to move a laser turret around, you press shift, okay. There's a Super Zapper, you can see its ancestry with control, so press return. There we are. Sorcerers, I'm sure I've used that same name in Grid Runner. Grid Runner for the iOS devices. I think there's a sorcerer in there. There's certainly a sorcerer. I think there's a sorcerer achievement. Anyway. We're not talking about that now. We're talking about this. So press return. You see, this is what made me think when I started looking at this game. There's a little llama in it, and only I ever put little llamas like that into things. And then it kind of came back to me that I'd written this game years ago and hadn't seen it for about 30 years. So without ado, let's have a look at this long-lost Llamasoft game. Press L when you're ready to... Okay, yes, it's the two-part load. We didn't have much space in the unexpanded Vic20, I suppose. Yeah, there we are. Okay, straight into it. So I move this thing here, and I'll there. Zap these things with my trusty lasers. 3. Defend my llama. I actually think I should have given a bonus for shooting things with the diagonal lasers, because it's a lot harder to hit things with those. It actually plays rather differently from the original Space Zap. Oh, it makes plenty of noise in between levels, as a Vic20 game should. The only Vic20 cliche it doesn't really do is it doesn't slide the screen off and on vertically like a lot of games. You know, piss. Now you see my llama's arse is exposed. No, I thought I was using my smart bomb, and in fact I did use my smart bomb, but I managed to switch the character set at the same time. I should have used the poke, which prevented that from happening. No, my llama's front is exposed there. Oh, what's that 50 points doing there? 50 points are stuck in the turret there. That was a little bug. Oh, look at that. That was close. I definitely think you should get more points for shooting them on the diagonal. Again, it suffers a bit from being in basic, and the controls are kind of... Where's that? Oh, there he is. Controls are kind of sluggish. Oh, I can hear him, but I can't see him. There he is. Oh, that was a bug. He crashed into a number there. Oh. Oh, come on, that was good. Wave 3 over. I'm rocking. And that's it, basically. You just defend your llama as long as you can, and the things come in a bit more quickly each time they appear. Again, not the most exciting game in the world, but... Oh, my llama's arse is exposed. But then even DK-Tronics weren't charging a lot for these games. I think it was like a £5 for... Oh, I breaking. Accidentally broke in at the moment of my llama dying. Okay, that's what you didn't miss any fancy game over screen or anything. Just a bunch of rubbish basic. Let's have a little list. Oh, look at it. Imagine how much it used to hurt your eyes working in basic all day with characters that big. It's all pokes and go subs as well in Commodore Basic. It wasn't known for its extra graphics commands or anything, to do everything with pokes. But that's a simple little game as part of a cheapo package that was sold for about £5 for 10 games or something, I think it was. Not bad, I suppose. I was just a bit surprised to see it turn up being labelled as being sold by somebody completely else in America 30 years after I'd last seen it. But there you go, the long lost mix, the long lost in the mists of time Llamasoft game, Space Sap. And with that, I shall finish off for this week.